What's up, folks? It's your girl Lisa with a Z, and we are live. Special featured guest, Lupe Dynamite Kid Mateo, who just won at the Combate Global Fight Promotion this July 1st. Explain to us a little bit how you feel about your performance at the Combate Global Fight Night.
Never stop learning. So there are things I want to fix, but our plan worked out for us, so the performance came out great.
I know you're dominant striker, stand-up performance is always on key, and I know Manolo always pushes you to be one of the toughest fighters, and you are definitely in the strawweight division here in Florida. There has to be a difference of the mindset when you go from being an amateur to now a professional with such a big platform like Combate Global. What do you feel is the difference between making that decision to go from amateur to go pro?
It was really like more of a doubt, like, am I ready? Am I ready to take it to the next level? But we are always going to doubt ourselves. We're always going to, have this voice in the back of our head telling us, are we ready? Are we go, to go to the next step? But my coach did tell me, it's time for me to go pro. I'm not going to be wasting any more time in amateur. And so I went directly to pro.
You had your first fight with Combate, lost to decision, went back to the drawing board, and got back in there to face a tough opponent to come out with this decision win. What can we expect from your next fight?
Just aggressiveness, learning different things. Hopefully now, I'm able to work more on my ground game, and maybe you might see some tackles, some, groundwork. But for the most part, I do work more on my striking.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has their fight style and their preference, but to be an overall rounded mixed martial artist is definitely the goal. I have no doubt that you will become a successful fighter within the Combate Global network, and I know that some of your teammates are on the rise as well for freedom fighters. Shout out to that gym and everybody over there. I know they've been killing it in the 2023 fight season. Looking forward to seeing another fight from you, like out of the cage. What's your go-to favorite meal?
Oh my god, it's like a tradition for me. Like, I always get a cheeseburger and a tequila shot.
You know what? I'm not mad at the tequila shot. What kind of advice would you give somebody who's maybe on their way to becoming a pro, especially the female athletes that are in their amateurs, which we do have top level athletes within the Florida MMA community? What kind of advice would you give them?
Make sure you're with the right team, number one, because your team will help you and your team is part of your growth. Right coaches. Make sure you have the experience, actual experience, and face high-level athletes as an amateur. That way when you go into pro, not to be rude, but if you're fighting cans, you go into pro, you're gonna find a girl that's 5-0, grimy. So you get into pros and you're just like, oh wait, what happened? You have to, and you're amateur, try to find athletes, that are rising athletes, because when you go pro and you fight the high-level athletes, you won't have, that's when your record really starts to count.
Right. I think that you're absolutely correct. In the fight game, I've seen many people fight, like the scrubs, as we call it here, and then they get woke when they go to the pros, and they're like, oh wait, this is not an easy fight anymore, and it's not like somebody that's 3-11 or 1-7. You're fighting somebody who is an equal match, who is also dedicating that time to fight camp and representing their team and their country and all kinds of things, sponsors. So I congratulate you. You are definitely a shining star and an example of a hardworking athlete within our community. And I look forward to seeing you develop within the pros and become the Combate Global, strawweight champion one day. If you'd like to become a sponsor or join Team Dynamite Kid, reach out to her email. All the information will be in the description. So shout out to you, Lupe, and we wish you the best.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on your show.